Well, it's the final day of hearings at the International Court of Justice, with the UN's top court seeking to examine the legality of Israel's decades-long occupation of Palestinian lands. Nearly around 50 countries have presented their arguments over the past 6 sessions, putting more pressure on Israel amid its offensive in Gaza. Turkey and the League of Arab Nations were amongst those giving their statements today. Turkey's Deputy Foreign Minister recognized the, quote, failure to implement a two-state solution as one of the underlying issues of the Israel-Palestinian conflict. The League of Arab Nations was more explicit on that, calling the Israeli occupation, quote, the last oppressive settler colonial occupation still standing in the 21st century. The final day of the hearings comes as Israel is due to file a report to the ICJ on progress it has made in preventing genocide in Gaza. Last month, the top UN court issued provisional measures ordering Tel Aviv to act to prevent genocidal acts and improve the humanitarian situation in the enclave. For more, Ishan Garg joins us live from Brussels. Ishan, what were the key takeaways from a week's worth of arguments? What happens next?
Well, during the past 1 week, we have seen arguments made from key players in the Middle Eastern areas, including Jordan and Libya, to the Palestinian territories themselves, and also from some of the key supporters of Israel, including the United States. While the bulk of the nations who have presented their argument at the International Court of Justice, or the ICJ, have criticized Israel. They have called their control over Palestinian territories illegal. Some even likened it to an apartheid state. The American argument and the British argument certainly stood out. America has essentially said that the court should not follow any opinion or issue any advisory that calls for an immediate withdrawal of Israeli forces from Palestinian territories. And Britain has, on the other hand, argued that the entire question of issuing an advisory opinion, that question as it's framed currently, should not be answered by the court. So in some sense, supporting Israel's cause. Israel itself has not presented any oral arguments in front of the court, but they have submitted in writing their arguments. It's likely lawyers say that Israel's argument has been about self-defense against the Palestinian territories. But what has come out in the past few days is what the Palestinian officials were hoping for, which was a case being made on the international forum that could draw more attention from the international community towards the cause of the Palestinian people. And through this, they are hoping that they would be able to ramp up the pressure on Israel to improve the lives of the people living in those territories.
Ishan, Israel also due to submit its report to the ICJ today on the measures it has taken to prevent genocide in Gaza. Of course, this case is separate from the one we've been discussing prior to this, the more than 50 countries and the organizations delivering their arguments at the ICJ. It's separate, but how might the two affect each other?
Well, the two cases coming off the back of one another, that's a mark of the international pressure ramping up on Israel. The case in which Israel is supposed to submit its progress report, in some sense, to the ICJ pertains to South Africa's case against it, where South Africa has alleged that Israel has been carrying out acts of genocide. Now, what Israel is going to say in those reports, we don't know. It'll probably argue in those reports that it has taken enough steps to ensure humanitarian aid is being allowed specifically into the Gaza Strip. It could argue that there has not been any blockade of any aid material coming into that part of the Palestinian territories. But several human rights organizations and international organizations have said that in the past 1 month, the inflow of aid, especially in Gaza, has dropped down. Now, a lot of the times, the International Court of Justice does not make these reports public, so we may not find out what it says, but it's a sign, these two cases, that international pressure may be ramping up on Israel.
Well, thanks to Ishan Garg reporting live to us there from Brussels.